Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Nowadays Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Roscoe. Um, this is not one of those videos where, there's a lot of enthusiasm, uh, optimism, happiness, or anything like that. This is a real sensitive subject concerning, young men, older men, men in general. Uh, Michael Beasley, former second overall pick in 2008 by the Miami Heat. After a dominant year at Kansas State, he played 11 seasons in the NBA from 2008 to 2019 for 7 different teams, including the Timberwolves, the Suns, and the Knicks. He was a left-hand scorer. He averaged around 12.4 points a game, and he averaged around about 4.7 rebounds over a span of 609 games. So we're going to react to it. Let's get it.
You play on that
That's
team.
the team I played on?
Yeah. Should they have kept that core together?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I wasn't a basketball player.
What were you there?
My mom died. I couldn't.
You couldn't focus, huh?
So New York hurt my feelings because I played really good in New York.
Right.
And New York was only 3 hours away from D.C.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to drive, my mom lived on the Baltimore side at this time. So
Yeah.
I used to drive 3 hours, like after practice, after games, after, whenever I could to go see my mom.
Right.
Because she had cancer.
Right.
Right? So I was hoping to stay in New York, man. I wanted to stay in New York so fucking bad. Or I wanted to go to D.C. or Philly. Like one of those teams that was close to my mom.
So you close, so you still get
Yeah, like, you understand? New York looked at me and said, Michael Beasley is the greatest player, the smartest player to ever put on a Knicks jersey, but how did this help us win? This is one of the times I wish I had something to say because I said, I don't know. Like, I ain't never, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I signed with the Lakers, that's when we found out my mom was been lying about us about having stage 2 cancer and it was stage 4. And then when I went to the Lakers, we talked all day on FaceTime, me, her, and my brother, right? And then right before the season, my brother went home. And FaceTime me and I was on the phone with my mom, the same shit, you know? And he showed me the side she wasn't showing us. So we didn't know, but every day she would really get up and make sure she take her morphine so she can have that phone call. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I just couldn't hold on. I just couldn't blame them. And I just had to go. Bro, my mom was driving herself to chemo until they put her on hospice. She ain't deserve that. And I was mad at her at that time because I remember I told you my dad did.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to just... Yeah, bro. I ain't like that because, man...
You say you was mad at your mom, what? Because she didn't have anybody to take her? She had to drive herself?
No. I was mad at my mom for my childhood. My dad at 25 told me I cut my whole family off for 3 years. I was pissed at them because my dad was a real nigga. Was looking for me my whole life, and I was looking for him, and you got all these random-ass niggas in my life. I wanted my dad. And then I got mad at my mom, and then she died, man.
So 3 years you're not having a conversation with your mom. And then when you come back into it,
when I got to New York, we was getting back. And then when I got to LA, it was just too far, and then it was too late now. And then I didn't know how to say it. I didn't know how to say that. And then I just went out there. I just had the wrong shorts on. They fit the same, so I couldn't feel that shit. Y'all laugh. That day, James died 2 days before, my cousin. I was supposed to be in a funeral, and I was at shoot-around like, damn, should I get on this flight or just play? But if I get on this flight, they're going to think I'm lying about people dying and shit. I ain't want to play at all, nigga. I ain't want to play. I was one of my favorite people and shit, and they was just laughing at me and shit. It was just laughing at me, man. I was hot, nigga. I was hot. I hated them niggas, man, because my mom didn't deserve that shit. And then James died in the car, man. James went to go. I told him stop fucking these dumbass bitches. Man, James went to go meet this girl and she set him up and the nigga hit him and he hid, right? He hid. And the only reason the nigga ain't come because the nigga came down the street and they let James down their car. Man, I couldn't be there for him. And y'all laughed at me. But I'm going to cry a little bit, but don't act like you don't notice, right? Just act like you don't notice. Yeah, I hated that year.
Your mom dying, that robbed you of your ability wanting to play basketball, huh?
Yeah, I couldn't, like, Magic Johnson and LeBron James, my favorite people, I couldn't even be happy around them because they was laughing too. But nah.
Did they know?
Josh Hart, though, I love him. Josh Hart, bro, I was on a bus one day, and
and turn my mic back on. But hey, man, as you can see how tense the conversation is getting. This is sad, man. You know, and I feel like there's a lot of men, a lot of people who can relate to this situation. You know, you're playing sports, and even women. But I think when I say men, it was like we look at each other as weak men when we have something sentimental or insecurity or something tragic going on in life, and we need a shoulder to cry on. We look down on each other for things like this. And so I think it's important to mention that there are situations and people who are living like that today. You know, my father had cancer. And it took, if it wasn't for my stepmother, I don't think we would have even knew he had cancer. And there's a lot of parents who hold back that information because they don't want to grieve their family. They don't want their family to worry or be totally, lose their mind while they're going through the process of chemotherapy and things of that nature. When people hear cancer, the first thing they think of is death. And especially when you're a young child or like you're a teenager, you're not really keen on the information of what cancer is and what it could do, so our immature minds automatically go to death. And even us as adults, if we're not caught up on the information when it comes to cancer, we think of death, right? And it's so sad because he mentioned that he didn't have the best relationship with his mother before she passed away. He didn't have the best relationship. So as she died, when she died, that's something that he feels like, and as you can see in the video, he's still carrying that grief with him today. And he even mentioned that people were laughing. People were saying, there's something wrong with him. And we oftenly judge a book by its cover. We judge people and we don't know nothing about that said person at all or what they're going through. We don't know what people might be going through at all. So that's why we should be very prudent about what comes out of our mouth, about what we say, and how we treat people. And I'm specifically talking to the brothers. I'm talking to everybody, but the brotherhood that we have, and it doesn't matter, black, white, Hispanic, it does not matter. Somebody's parent out there has cancer or had cancer. And they've had to have this same story that Michael Beasley is lamenting to. So we ought to take life more serious and more so our relationships that we have with each other. Stop downplaying the next person. Stop judging the next person because you don't know what they might be dealing with. You don't know what they're going through. And if a brother comes to you, listen to that brother and give him an ear so he can feel that you are his safe place and he doesn't feel judged at that moment. because that's what often happens. We feel, and it's kind of like an indoctrined thing that we were taught that this stuff is feminine and it's weak, right? But it's not. It's not weak at all. It actually makes you more of a man, that you're bold enough to come and say this information in front of whoever you want to share it with, because you're trying to seek help. He didn't even see himself as a basketball player because of his mother's death. That's tragic, right? And I think we just need to just take life more serious when it comes to this specific problem, this epidemic that we have in the world. Let's finish the interview.
I didn't even know I was crying. I was just sitting there trying to be quiet. John's Hart came up to me and gave me a hug, bro. It was like, bro, I don't know what you're going through, dog, but you can come talk to me. And I never did, and I wish I did, but like, Josh Hart, he seen who I was, bro. I fuck with Josh, man. I ain't never. And then B.I. used to kick it with me. B.I. used to be like, man, fuck them clubs. I'm gonna kick it with you, OG, nigga. I don't know why, but I just fuck with you. And we used to talk all night. You understand? Like, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with them youngins, but like, I'm just mad I couldn't be.
Did anybody know what you were going through at the time?
No.
Did you tell anybody?
I couldn't. I didn't know how. I couldn't. My whole life. And not just then, from day one. From day one, the day I got drafted, I was going through it all. And it's like, if I say it, y'all just laugh at it. If I act out on it, or if I just slip out because I'm going through reality outside of this game, y'all just laugh at it, and never what I got to say, never just what I...
Did you feel like anybody ever tried to understand who Michael Beasley was, the person? Everybody thought they knew who Michael Beasley was, the player, basketball player, but nobody understood Michael Beasley, the person.
No.
Did anybody try to get that? No. Did you try to let anybody in to see that side of you?
How many times did I cut my hair? Go back and look at it. How many times I tried to reintroduce myself? Go back and look at it. How many times I tried to apologize for who y'all thought I was? Go back and look at it. Y'all laughed at every single time. Every single time. If I had a bad game, look, the worst in the world. If I had a good game, it's just some lucky shit. I've never been able to have a good game without y'all talking about my past. Even today, I go play in the big three like, he don't belong there. You know his mental this, his mental that. Y'all don't know my mental. Stephen A. Smith met me at 15, ain't said a word to me. Now, next thing I know, this nigga talking about character issues at 18. How the f you even know about character issues? You don't know I was catching a bus to them gyms you seen me at, nigga? Walking a mile after I got on the bus. But character issues because why? You grew up with a fucking fridge? I didn't. Y'all never asked me anything. Not once. Y'all just all thought I came from where y'all came from and then judged where I did. And so me and my friends got laughed at, and y'all just, for loyalty, Trevor Ariza looked at me and said, yo, you the smartest nigga I ever met, nigga, but you loyal to the most dumbest nigga. I know that now. No, nigga, nobody asked me shit. Now I ain't care. That's real.
If you'd had mentorship, Michael Beasley would be a different person sitting on this
billionaire.
And as you can see, he really didn't tell anyone, right? And that's a part of it, right? Because the embarrassment that we feel we might get back in return once we release this information to whoever. The embarrassment. He said that he thought people would laugh. He thought people would laugh that he would be dealing with the grievance of and mourning his mother's death. Yeah, that's just evil. It's sheer depravity. That we live in a society where someone's mother dies and we're like, just, suck it up. You'll be all right, bro. Suck it up. And even laugh. That's crazy. he also didn't know how to tell anyone. That's a part of it too. I think it's important to teach our children and become a safe place for our children. First, us as parents, and then our siblings, we need to do right by each other too. Because you can't depend on the people outside of your intermediate family to treat you with love. You should at least have the expectation of your brother or your sister to do right by you. So that's how I came up, you know, and there are instances where people will have friendships not bound by blood, but actual friends that they can depend on more than their actual siblings. Their blood-born siblings. Excuse me. Whoever you know and whoever you have a close relationship and you can trust them, hold on to that person. Because there's not too many real people out here that you can trust and who won't hurt you when you're feeling despondent, when you're feeling lost, when you're feeling hopeless. And you see the results right here.
That's why I look at, right? And I love the kids. Because all you need is a little bit of discipline, a little bit of organization. Then you're gonna be scared of your parents. Then you're gonna go outside and be scared of your coaches. And you're gonna go outside and be scared of the officers. And then you're gonna go outside and be scared of life. And that's just gonna make you live one more day.
On the court, you had moments. You should look. You're the second pick in the draft. Everybody saw what you did.
Yeah, I laughed at them all. Go back and look at it. That's a real shit.
Would you say they? Who
like I can give you a real stat. Every time I played over 30 minutes, I'm averaging like 20 plus points. Every time I'm playing over 25 minutes, like look at the stats. My per 36 add up with the all-stars that y'all love to pay. But whenever it was my turn, y'all all brought up what mental issues y'all thought I had, having none. The mental issues y'all thought I had, y'all created because I couldn't understand it, which created depression, anxiety. Then I couldn't talk to anybody. And every time I tried to change, y'all just laughed at me. Right? And then look at my numbers. I only played half the game max, but always produced more numbers. I just never got a chance to play. Never got a chance to play. And when it was always time to get paid, I was in New York, right? They had a vet minimum of $8 million. They paid me $2 million last year. It was the minimum, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking at them trying to negotiate my contract before I go to New York. They say what they said to me, and okay, cool. I look at my agent, I say, bro, they got $6 million to give me, just something to give me that $6 million for the 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Ain't hurting them, it ain't hurting me.
Right.
Ask me what they do the next day.
What they do?
Mario Hezonja, wearing number 8, just signed for $8 million.
So the money that you could have got.
Ask who wore number 8 last year.
You did.
Not even a phone call to say they was going in another direction. Right? Yeah, nigga. Every time I played good, y'all laughed and just thought it was luck.
Mike, did you, at any point in time, did you ever say, you know what, I need to go sit down and talk to somebody about what I got?
Yeah, like last week was the first time I called my lawyer and asked him, I'm looking for my insurance card now. I don't want to pay for that shit. I heard that shit expensive. Real shit.
If you're out here trying to scale a business, you're doing everything yourself, come on now.
Yeah, and that sums that up. And I think it's important to mention shout out to Michael Beasley. As you can see, he finally reached out to find help. His mother died in 2018. It's 2026. You do the math. If you're watching this video, be genuine, be real, be strong, and I always say, treat people how you want to be treated. Thank God my dad is still here after dealing with prostate cancer. Who knows the condition I would be in mentally. Thank God I still have both of my parents. But I guess this video is for someone out there that has been impacted the same way Michael Beasley has been. Stay strong, my brother. Stay strong, my sister. And until next time, thank you for tuning in to Nowadays Podcast. Peace.